Welcome back to Wikilert.
Today, the hallowed grounds of cricket pitches across England feel a touch emptier, a touch more nostalgic, with the passing of Dickie Bird, the umpire whose quirky charm, unerring finger, and boundless love for the game turned him into a national treasure and a Yorkshire icon. The heartbreaking news broke this morning, September 23, 2025, that Harold Dennis Dickie Bird, MBEOB, died peacefully at his home at the age of 92, leaving behind a legacy that's as enduring as a 5-day test match and as joyful as a boundary rope juggle. No specific cause was shared by his family or Yorkshire County Cricket Club, but in tributes pouring in from legends like Geoffrey Boycott, who called him a very good technical batsman turned brilliant umpire, and Michael Parkinson, who once quipped that only Shakespeare could have invented a character so full of life's rich juices. It's clear Dickie wasn't just raising his finger for outs, he was raising spirits for generations. As flags fly at half-mast at Headingley and Barnsley's statue of him stands sentinel, let's take a gentle walk through his remarkable life, the eccentricities that made him unforgettable, and the quiet Yorkshire heart that beat for cricket till the very end. Dickie's innings began on April 19, 1933, in the coal-dusted streets of Barnsley, West Riding of Yorkshire, where he was born Harold Dennis Bird into a miner's family, his dad a hard-working collier, his mum the steady hand guiding 3 siblings through the grit of the Great Depression. The nickname Dickie stuck from schoolyard days, a cheeky twist on his middle name that suited the mischievous lad who'd rather chase a ball than books. Barnsley was his cradle and his cricket club his classroom. By 15, he was opening the batting for the first 11 alongside a young Michael Parkinson, his elegant cover drives earning nods from locals who saw a county star in the making. A knee injury at 18 derailed football dreams and nudged him toward the willow, leading to a first-class career with Yorkshire from 1956 to 1959, 93 matches, over 3,000 runs a day. Tidy average, including a century against Middlesex that had the Scarborough crowd roaring. But injuries nipped at his heels, and by 1964, after a stint with Leicestershire, he hung up the bat, trading pads for a white coat. Little did he know that pivot would make him immortal, not as a player, but as the umpire whose finger became as iconic as Botham's 81 heroics. What truly defined Dickie, though, was his flair for the dramatic without the ego, a 23-year umpiring odyssey from 1970 to 1996 that saw him stand in 66 tests, 69 ODIs, and 3 World Cup finals, his eccentricities turning routine overs into riveting theater. Picture him at Lord's in 1984, marbles spilling from his pocket mid-over as he tallied deliveries on hands and knees, or calling good light under a suspiciously sunny sky at Trent Bridge because a nearby greenhouse glare tricked his eye. He was the umpire. Mishaps followed like a loyal dog, flooded pitches at Headingley from burst drains, a bomb scare at Lord's where he perched on the covers like a sentinel, even an elbow bash in the Women's World Cup showers that had him slipping into legend. Yet, for all the quirks, his calls were fair as Yorkshire rain, a league-leading 47 wins in 1973 to 74, back-to-back Vizinas and Conn Smythes as playoff MVP for the Flyers Cup runs. No, wait, that's hockey. For Dickie, it was the respect from firebrands like Dennis Lillee and Jeff Thompson, who'd rumble but rumble with a wink when his finger rose. His final match? A 1998 Yorkshire thriller at Headingley, walked off to a guard of honor, white cap in hand, the crowd chanting Dickie, Dickie, like it was a Headingley 81 riot. Off-field, he was a storyteller supreme. His 1987 autobiography, White Cap and Bales, sold 1 million copies, spilling tales of umpiring under fire in the Falklands shadow or swapping quips with Shane Warne, always with that self-deprecating chuckle that said, "Cricket's bigger than any of us." Beyond the boundary, Dickie was the ultimate Yorkshireman, humble, humorous, and heartwarmingly human, a man whose life off the pitch was as rich as his on-field anecdotes. He never married, but family was his anchor. Sister Marjorie Wyatt, the last thread to his Barnsley roots, and a sprawling circle of nieces, nephews, and godchildren who'd pile into his straight-edge home for Christmas curries and cricket yarns. He doted on them like extras in his autobiography, sneaking Headingley tickets or teaching the art of the perfect straight drive in the back garden. Parkinson's crept in during his later years, a thief that slowed his stride, but never his spirit. He'd still hobble to matches, cane in one hand, cap in the other, quipping to boycott about umpiring from the commentary box now. His faith stayed simple, a miner's son's gratitude for the game's gifts, and he poured it back through the Dickie Bird Foundation, launched in 2000 to kit out underprivileged kids with bats and dreams, funding over 1,000 young hopefuls across Yorkshire. Even as age dimmed the lights, he guessed on This Morning or Parkinson reruns, his tales as fresh as a Lord's daisy chain, always ending with, "Cricket's about joy, lad, don't forget the joy." Financially, Dickie lived like the working-class hero he was, his net worth a modest £1 to £2 million by the end, woven from umpiring fees, book royalties that outsold boycotts, and those MVE and OBE honors that opened doors to after-dinner speeches where he'd have tycoons in stitches. No mansions in Mayfair, his straight-edge bungalow in Barnsley was the prize, walls lined with signed caps from Imran Khan to Ian Botham, a pint of bitter his luxury. He funneled the rest into the foundation and Yorkshire causes, turning wit into wickets for the next wave, proving for him success was measured in the grins of kids who'd never have held a bat without his nudge. There are so many vivid vignettes that capture Dickie's sparkle, the ones that make his fade-out feel like a rain delay on a perfect day. Teammates turn legends recall his Headingley 81 nerves, pacing like a batsman on not as Botham's sixes flew, or that 1992 World Cup final where he stood tall amid Pakistan's triumph, sharing a post-match embrace with Imran that bridged empires. Even in quiet moments, like unveiling his Barnsley statue in 2012 beside Prince Charles, hat-tipped, quip ready, Your Highness. Mind the bales, he was the everyman elevating the everyday. Geoffrey Boycott's tribute today sums it. I have known Dickie nearly 70 years, a friend through thick and thin. Fans on social media are flooding with clips, one viral of his out, finger wag racking up laughs, captioned, "The only man who could no-ball a batsman with a smile." As we lower the stumps on Dickie Bird, it's his joy that lingers, a final not out in the grand scorebook of life. Yorkshire, cricket, and Barnsley have lost their brightest character, but his finger will point to the stars for every young dreamer chasing the crease. To Marjorie, his family, Boycott, Parkinson's kin, and the legion of admirers who've chanted his name, our hearts stand with you in this gentle innings close May. His veils forever gleam in that Yorkshire sun. If Dickie's blend of whimsy and wisdom has you dusting off the whites or toasting a legend, please give this video a like and subscribe for more tales from the boundaries edge. It keeps the game alive. Thanks for being here, play on out there.